Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome in. This is the live recording for episode 48 of Client by Client. I hope this message finds you well. If you are here tuning in live, drop in live. If it's your first time here, tuning into the show, finding out about the show, being here for the show, drop first. I want to welcome my first time offenders, and to my repeats, would love to say hi to you. So do drop a comment in wherever you are finding the show or wherever this show is finding you. I think that this episode is going to be one of those that finds the right people who need today's message. We're going to get a little deep today. We're going to start out with a story from the program that I run and talking about some experiences there, and we're going to have a good time. Today on the podcast, if you are subscribed on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I share with you how to get clients from your Facebook group. And then tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to get clients from your Facebook profile. So if you could use some clients here for the month of June and you have some room, you'd like to get some signups, then be sure to go tune into that episode today. That said, let's hop in and let's bring this to life. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yesterday on the show, we talked about how to overcome a dry spell. And dry spells are inevitable when it comes to this online coaching game, because at each level, there are new devils. That's something that Vince Del Monte always says, and I always repeat to myself and to my students as well, is that the game changes as you go. It's so funny. That's going to lead into today's episode too. The game changes as you go. The rules change. The way you win changes. Where you're aiming, where your aim changes. Your target, your goals, your motivation all changes. And when we make those changes, even when we have consistent and ever increasing revenue, there are so many things that require your focus that your focus might get off of your prospecting, off of your lead gen, off of your sales or your sales team. And so if it's been a little while, longer than 2 weeks, longer than a month or two since you've had your last client, I made that episode with you in mind. Go and check it out. That way you know what to do if you're in a dry spell, or if you just have less clients than you're happy with for the month that you're listening and tuning into this episode on, and you want a couple more, there's going to be some tips and maybe some reminders for you if you ever find yourself in a dry spell. So be sure to go and check in with, so be sure to backtrack one episode to check out that. Before we get into today's episode, which is, we're going to be talking about the start. Today's episode is titled, It All Starts With This. I left it very vague and very ambiguous so that we could have some fun with it, and so that I didn't spoil it for listeners from yesterday. But I wanted to talk about what's been going on over in the Get Clients program. Today's Thursday, June 8th at the time of this recording, and we do our Get Clients, our student calls on Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I do it Mountain Time because it never changes. One of the beauties of living here in Arizona. And I didn't quite go into yesterday's call knowing exactly what the outcome was going to be. Sometimes I'll come with a theme, like a musing. My buddy John Schumacher always said that when I was going through his accelerator. And so he called it John's musing. So it was kind of like, I'll write an idea down. That way, if we have extra time, if there's not enough questions, depending the vibe of the group, I'm going to have always something to talk on and something to share and to teach, regardless if there's questions and the levels of participation. And through asking a couple questions and going kind of round robin with the Get Clients members and doing a little update with each student, I asked a very important question, which was, by a show of hands, how many people here are visualizing their success? And then the question was a little vague, so I thought I'd clarify even more. I said, before you guys raise your hand, before you answer, here's what I specifically want to know. How many people in this room are visualizing their success in their coaching business? And not a single hand went up. And I go, okay, pause real quick, all good. By a show of hands here, who is experiencing self-doubt, lack of confidence, wondering if they should stay in coaching, wonder if they're made and cut out for coaching, and wondering if coaching is a still thing for them? And every hand went up. So if you are experiencing self-doubt, if you're experiencing a lack of commitment or loss of commitment, if you are not experiencing the results that you're wanting in your online business, you aren't alone. In fact, I would say I'm in that group too, more often than not. Because as humans, we think about the things not going our way when we're trying really hard, when we're doing our efforting. And when things aren't going our way, it can be very mentally draining, very mentally and spiritually heavy, right? And the other day I sat down and I wrote out my visualizations, and I realized that, wow, like I've really been focused on the few things not going as fast and as quickly as I would want them. But I have all these things that are going great. And then in between there, I realized I wasn't investing enough of my time visualizing my own success in my coaching business. And so we yesterday spent an hour together just on the concept of visualizing your success and visualizing their success. I think this is going to be one of the call recordings that we keep up in the group long term. We have a call every week. They're recorded, they're uploaded, but I only keep the most recent 2 to 3 months to keep the program fresh so that students have a reason to go through the replay with some urgency, and so that the group just doesn't get clogged up with nothing but call replays. And so should you join the Get Clients program, we'll probably keep that one up there. But whether you join or not, I want for this to be your reminder before we get into today's episode that if you are not visualizing your success as an online coach, I'm not talking about 10, 20, 30 years down the road, although that's important. I'm talking about visualizing you winning over the next 30, 60, 90 days. It's important that you do so, and that you do so from your own perspective, not like you're watching the movie of your life. And what we did yesterday, because one of our students, Preeti, she said, well, like, can you give us some examples? Like, what should I be visualizing? And so we pulled up the worksheet where we basically come up with their one pathway for getting a client. You guys hear me beat the drum that you need one method for getting clients, because if you have too many, you have way too many things to try to optimize and to get working. Not one thing can work well. So we pulled up Preeti's pathway where random people from the internet are going to discover her, how she's going to get them into conversations, and then what the process is for booking an initial call, turning that into a strategy call, and turning that into a paid client. It's 6 boxes horizontally aligned on a page. And we went through every one of them, and we talked about what would a visualization for this one piece look like. Oh, well, you're sending friend requests on Facebook, and you're receiving a bunch of quality friend requests from people and prospects in your market, and the friend requests you're sending out are being accepted, and you're getting warm responses to your first message. So that's like visualization A for success in the day. And then it's like, okay, now let's visualize you in a conversation, in a chat on Messenger. And not only are they are responding quickly. They're responding with love letters, with like long descriptions of their story and their journey of where they're at and how much it means to them, and why they're wanting help, and why it's such a coincidence they came across you, and do you have room for them in your program, and all of these things. It's like, if we're not visualizing those things, it gets really hard to be attracting those situations in a reality where the circumstances match what it is that you desire. When we want, we're in a state of lack. And rather than sitting there thinking about all the things that you don't have, the things that aren't going your way, the clients that you don't have right now, the coaches that are winning but you're not, it's just way more productive to visualize your success and visualize you winning. And when you get intentional about doing this before any task that you're going to do, I think that universe, God, energy starts to align on your side and start to create the circumstances for you. So it takes less work, it gets easier to get clients, and you're able to be in the business with more energy, having more fun, making more money. And when you're doing that, you're having fun. It really isn't work. And so it was just a reminder for me, for students in the program, and now a reminder for you paying it forward, that you have to be visualizing your success, visualizing it daily, because if you don't do that, that's where the self-doubt, that's where all of those things start to creep in, and you start to question this whole online coaching thing. And guys, there's people in my program who've been coaching longer than I've been alive, and they experience the self-doubt and all of those things at that point in their journey as well. You're no different. And if you've been doing it less than 10, 15, 20, 30 years, it's highly likely that you're going to experience those things in your day, in your week, in your month, in your journey repeatedly. So create visualizations of you winning at the tasks that are most important and what the end outcome looks like. And when you can do that and get intentional about it, that's when I think the stars start to align, and you start to experience luck, right? Preparedness meets opportunity, and you start to experience things that are going your way, whether they're going the way you pictured them or not. I think that you get closer to the end result. So I hope that's valuable, helpful for you in some way. In today's episode, we're talking about what it all starts with. And I want to just kind of get down to the core of you and your online business. And that way we can discover why things are really working for you, or why things might not be working at as fast of a clip as you're wanting, or maybe you're not feeling the way you thought you would on the other side of your goal. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the Simon Sinek start with why. It's the getting to the limbic part of your brain to understand why it is that you're doing this whole coaching thing. I'm going to start that over. So the first thing I want to talk about is your why. I think as online coaches, we know that having a big why is important, but I think most online coaches, when you get to unpacking it, they don't really have a clear reason why they wake up in the morning and coach and go find clients and why they're in online coaching in the first place. And what a lot of people will think about is like the money or the cars or getting out of the day job or things like that. And those are only motivating to an end. Once you get those things, they'll stop being your motivation. And I'm so like for 10, 15 years now, since I came across Simon Sinek's TED Talk of Start With Why, I have been on a constant trajectory of trying to extrapolate, big word, and understand my own thinking and the motivations of others as a marketer, as a coach, as a student of coaching and of marketing as well. If you want to understand a very high brushstroke overview of how your mind works and motivations and big reasons why, I would at minimum want you to check out the TED Talk from Simon Sinek, Start With Why. I think it's the most popular TED Talk to date. And then if you can immerse yourself in podcast episodes from Simon, in Simon's book, Start With Why, and those things, you can start to understand this more, and you can start to get into the big reason why. And this concept of your reason why is not as easy for us to talk about, because one of the things I learned from Simon is that the part of your brain that thinks in whys and that understands why does not think in or communicate in words. It communicates in feelings. This is the center of your brain. This is the limbic part of your brain. It's a part of your brain that does not know or comprehend words. It only knows feelings. He always uses the example of like, why do you love someone? And when you ask someone that, they're going to give you all of these things that like anyone can do. Oh, they make me laugh. Oh, they look after me. Oh, they do X, Y, and Z. Oh, they make me feel special. They know my habits. They know X, Y, and Z. When it's like there are dozens of other people in your life who do those things for you, but you didn't choose to marry them or to love them or to be in love with them. Those are rationalizations for the feelings we have in our minds. So the limbic part of our minds do not think in words. So it's important that you spend time crafting the statue of your why and carving it out of the marble so that you can see the image for yourself. Because oftentimes that reason is there, but you don't have words for that thing there. You just have a feeling. You know deep down inside you're meant to be coaching, and that coaching is the thing that you were and that you are meant to be doing right now, but maybe you don't have the words to actually describe why. And so if you don't have a big reason why, if you're struggling to figure out the reasons and the pit of why you are doing this online coaching thing, I think it's important that you, in being the leader to others, understand this concept, that you look into this, and that you try to wrap your head around what Simon teaches so that you can discover your big reason why, and so that you can get to, over the next decade, constructing, deconstructing, putting back together, clarifying and refining your reason why, so it gets stronger, gets deeper, and it pulls more people into your world without talking about the marketing hypey things, but just by being you and sharing your reason why. One of my favorite speeches of all time is the Steve Jobs comment. One of my favorite speeches of all time, I can't speak while I say this, is the Steve Jobs commencement speech he did at Stanford. And one of the things Steve talked about during that changed the way I looked at life and the way I looked at business is that you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. Everything makes sense in hindsight, but it's really hard to add things up looking into the future from the present moment. And it's only through looking back and unpacking your past and becoming more familiar with the real you that you can understand where you're headed and why you're at where you're at right now. So there's some other recommended watching is the commencement speech that Steve Jobs did before he passed. The first thing that you have to do, everything starts with your why. It's important that you get to the bottom of it so that you can get to unpacking it and so you can get to refining it and leading with it in everything that you do. The second thing I want to talk about in building off of this reason why is that a lot of us will do this for the money. We'll do it because we don't want to have a 9-to-5 job where someone's over us, where we have some freedom. And then we start making that kind of money as we get into coaching. And so money most definitely matters. In today's day and age, in this third dimension that we all exist in, money is like oxygen. Money to your business is the lifeblood of everything you do. It gives your body, it gives your business the oxygen it needs to actually run. So money is important, and anybody trying to downplay the importance of money really just thinks that you'll think and that others will think higher or more of them if they don't lead like that, because they have a negative association in their mind or in their past that comes down to money. And I don't think there's anything proud about being broke or being poor or not having the resources that you need in order to live the life that you're wanting. I don't think there's anything to be proud about that in. And a lot of people, they get in that situation, they'll find ways to be prideful because we're humans and we want to justify and we don't want to look a certain type of way. So we try to save face, we try to do all these things to make ourselves cope and be okay with it. But I don't think there's anything okay with it. The only thing I have okay with that is the motivation to get out of that and the drive to create a better life for yourself. As you find success as an online coach, your motivation will change, as it should. You will have started it because you wanted to get out of your day job, or you started it because you wanted to spend more time with the kids, or you got out of it because, if you're like me, having an employer and being an employee just sucks the soul right out of you, and you know that you're capable of so much more. When you start to make the kind of money that allows for you to have more options, that exceeds what you got in your past jobs, that exceeds your spouse or your significant others, your the meaning behind your money has to change along that way. And so even if right now you're at the starting line, you haven't gotten your first client, or you go back to yesterday's episode because you're in a little bit of a drought right now, or you're not getting clients consistently and you're not living up to your own expectations or the expectations that were set for you as far as what it takes to be and being an online coach, it's important that before you get to the bridge of needing to give your money a different definition and have some different motivation behind it, I think it's important that you start to give your money meaning right now. Because when your money takes on a bigger and a deeper meaning, the reasons why you exist as an online business owner start to change and go deeper. And when you operate from this higher level, from this higher perspective, things will change in your online business and they'll start to look a lot different. So whether you're on the other side and you right now you have all the resources and the money and the clients, but you're losing a little motivation, or if you're on the other side of the starting line or you're ready to give up coaching because the money isn't just there, when you give your money meaning, it will take on a completely different definition and give you a totally different type of energy. Maybe it is retiring your parents. I only have one left. I would love to be able to make sure that he doesn't have to work anymore. Maybe it's something to do with your kids, like creating a post-secondary education fund so they have more options than you did. Maybe it's creating financial freedom and abundance so that you can be at every kid's baseball, softball practice, or whatever those things are. Maybe it's to show yourself that you are capable of so much more. And so that's why you set out on this journey. Whatever the case, you have to give a meaning to that money coming in, because it will take on a whole different role in your life and in your business. It will be a totally different game. Maybe you have a charitable cause that you would love to impact. Maybe you're like me and you had a parent, like my mom, die of brain cancer. And so you want to go find a brain cancer charity, society, organization, and you want to fund them so that they have enough money to help other families dealing with it or to do their research. That's different than going and getting clients. The getting clients is a means to an end, whereas a lot of you getting clients is like the only reason why you're doing this at some point, or it becomes the only reason why you're doing it at this point. So I would just implore you to find a deeper reason why you're going after this and what you're going to do with that money, because when you can aim higher with your money, I'm not saying make more money, I'm saying do better, deeper meaning, more meaningful things with your money, it changes the entire game that you're playing. It also changes sometimes the reason why others want to play the game with you. So give your money meaning and find a deeper cause that your money is going to go towards so that you can play a more elevated game and change your perspective and really set yourself apart from everyone else in the industry. And when you do that, not only will you be able to go and I think make a bigger impact on the world, but I think others will want to be around you. And that will be one of the many reasons why they'll sign up with you over any other coach, because you lead with those things, because your money has meaning and money is important to you and you don't shy away from it. So the second thing that I want to share with you here today is you have to give your money meaning more than just it paying your bills and being a means to the end. Thing number 3, of what it all starts with. It all starts with how you do anything, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you are not experiencing the results you're wanting in your online business, or hell, with anything else in your life, I want for you to look at how you're treating everything and everyone else in your life. Is your business kind of messy? Well, let's look at your personal life. Let's look at your bedroom. Let's look at your thoughts. All right. One of the things we've talked about over the last couple episodes, which one was it? On a recent episode, we talked about how I clean my desk and completely almost disassemble it and put it back together and clean it up, because that allows for me to have the sort of energy around me necessary to be able to have clear thoughts. So if your desk is messy, you're far more likely to have complicated, messy, not so helpful thoughts in your mind. So the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I'm big on, like, it's bugging me right now that my bed isn't made because I need to wash my sheets, and I meant to do it yesterday, and so I didn't make my bed yesterday or today yet because I had intentions of washing my sheets. I haven't done it yet. So, like, I try to make my bed in the morning and be clean about that, so that starts to leach into everything else I do. When you start to operate like that, you start to see that, oh, wow, I leave messes in these other things that I do. Let me just clean that up while I'm going, instead of having a big old mess to fix at the end of the week or at the end of the day. So this is just a small example for how you do anything is how you do everything. But and because I can't take a peek into your life right now for you listening right now, but I know for you thinking about this right now, you're on one of two sides of the track. You're not happy with the way you're doing stuff in your personal life, and your business isn't matching up to where you want to be, or you have now taken the initiative to be more mindful in the other areas of your life, but your business has not yet caught up to that reality where you're starting to do those things, or the results have changed in your business yet. But I want to promise you, and I want to make a promise to you, that you keep going down that route and you will begin to attract the situations and circumstances necessary. And when you live a kind of way that's conducive to your business will start to take cues from that. So you really can't compartmentalize, as much as you try, your business from your personal life, and your personal life from your business. So if your personal life is not going so well, but your business is, what can we take from what you're doing in your business and bring into your personal life? And if your personal life is going really, really well, but your business isn't, what can we do, or what sort of attention can we change in your personal life to your business and carry that over, so that you can start to experience those results, and so that you can end up on the spiral continuously going up, where your business fuels your personal life fuels your business, and you never get burnt out. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And so I would challenge you that if things aren't going right on one area of your life, that you look into how you're doing everything else and how you're treating and looking at everything else, because the way you look at things changes the way they look, right? That's a scientific quantum thing. When a scientist looks and observes something, the observation changes. It's magical. It's crazy. But that's true in your life too. There are people that walk around negative all day and they only see negative things. Positive people walk around all day positive and see only positive things, and they went to the same places, talked to the same people, saw the same things, heard the same things, but one saw the world as doom, the other saw it as opportunity and as a start. It comes down to your choice, and it all starts at the beginning of your day. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So I hope there was a tip in, and something that you needed as a reminder, something that really you needed from today's episode. Less tactical than the previous couple episodes that we've been doing, but I think it's important that we revisit these things, and it even solidifies even more the conversation that we had in the Get Clients program yesterday, and bringing it into the start of today's episode of visualizing your success. You know, if you're all day starting with things aren't going well, I don't have enough clients, and how bad everything is, you're going to begin and carry that energy with you. But if you wake up thankful and gratitude that you have another day to go and tackle it, and to go and help some people and be of service and get underneath them and help other people's dreams come true, now you're living in a world and a universe of opportunity. And I think that the universe, God, karma, energy, whatever you want to call it, however you look at it, starts to present you the opportunities and the details and circumstances of a life that has even more of those things. So it's all up to you with the energy that you want to radiate. But whatever you radiate, that's going to be coming back at you. The way you're looking at anything is going to be reflected back at you. You have the choice and you make the choice. So visualize your success instead of experiencing and doubting yourself and experiencing self-doubt. And instead of getting into the negativity, and I only know this from experience of how bad everything in your life is going, choose to put your energy, your focus, and attention on the handful of things that are going your way and the even less amount of things that you can actually control. And in doing this, you'll move so much more lighter, so much more happier. And I think that when you do that, you put yourself in a far better circumstance personally for you to stay in the business long enough and for you to be the kind of person that other people and other clients want to work with and choose to work with and choose to continue being a part of. And when you do that, running your business gets easier. Being an online coach gets easier. It at least gets more enjoyable. And when you find that groove, I think everything else good you're wanting will begin to follow. But it all starts with your reasons why. It starts with what your money means to you, and it starts with the way that you do anything, and it leads into how you end up experiencing and doing everything else. In the next episode of Client by Client, episode 49, we're going to be talking about something that you've heard me allude to over these past 48 episodes. We talked about the concept of there's two types of money making tasks. There's money now tasks and there's money later tasks. In episode 49, we're going to focus in on money now tasks and what needs to happen in your day to generate revenue by the end of the week. And in episode 50, we're going to be talking about money later tasks, tasks that make running your business and attracting in clients over a long period of time easier so that you get clients now, and that as you grow and run the business, it gets easier and easier and things head off in the direction onwards and upwards that you are wanting. So be sure to come back tomorrow and to episode 50 to understand and fully wrap your head around what money now tasks are and the difference between them and money later so that you can be producing money this week and also producing money over the long term. Whenever you are ready, here are 3 ways I can help you grow your online business. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline from your email inbox, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram DM? Well, when you do that, you're leaving money on the table and you're losing leads in the cracks. That's why I created GetBookedCRM, and it's 100% free right now. So coaches, all you have to do is send me the letters CRM wherever you're getting the show to get your free copy. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got 900 and growing online coaches from all over the world, and I'd love for you to be around them digitally, shoulder to shoulder, so you can get around people who are just one step ahead of you at the same step you're at or one baby step behind where you're at right now. You also get access to weekly trainings and resources and things I find across the internet that help me grow my business. Online coaches, grab your phone right now and send me the word group on Instagram to get your invite today. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting some coaches together this month to implement my strategies and methods for attracting and injecting in 15K worth of new clients minimum or doubling your online client roster over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But I'm very picky about who I work with, so this is only for you if you are a relationship-focused coach. I'm gonna start that. So this is only for you if you're a relationship-focused coach who always puts the person ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 1 year. You'd like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media every month without wasting money on paid ads. You have at least 300 friends on a social platform, email list, or in a group. You are willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last but most important, you can keep a secret. If that's you, online coaches, grab your phone right now. And I want for you to find me on Instagram at whatupjeremy and send me the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions, then I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program, the results other Get Clients students are already experiencing, and what part of the program will likely have the highest likelihood, the fastest in your online business. Grab your phone right now and find me on Instagram at whatupjeremy and send me the words case study, and I'll get you all the details. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers. Okay, tomorrow, money now tasks. Monday, we're going to be talking about money later tasks. So if you want to hear this information and get these tips before the rest of my audience gets them, be sure to tune in here. Tomorrow's episode, I think, could help a few of you get money before the end of the week or by the end of the episode while you're listening to it. And I think it's going to be important for a few of you to get clear on the differences in tasks so you can prioritize your day better. That's it for now. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.